Welcome to the Voice of the Agent Part 2. We've been talking about portals, we've been talking about PropTech, and now we're going to turn to a subject which is of no interest to anyone, is very small and has no impact on industry, something called artificial intelligence. So we're going to really get into how artificial intelligence is actually changing things. Now, we've seen a big leap. About half of agents in 2023 said they were using artificial intelligence of the tools that are available. It's leapt to 83% are now saying they use it in an active sense. And most are doing so daily. ChatGPT, our friend, leads by a country mile. So, Mark, does this mark a tipping point where AI is no longer a novelty but a genuine member of the team?
I think so. I think it's never going back either. I think when you look at artificial intelligence and how it's developed over the last 15 years, really, we've had some big advancements in AI that people haven't necessarily seen because it's been behind the scenes and it's been within these big businesses. So the recommendation engines in Amazon and things like that, and Siri, these are all using AI and have been using AI for quite a long time. But this is just the latest breakthrough in AI. And if you look at the technology and where it is today, we can already automate a lot more than you're currently seeing. It's like the technology's made a big jump, and we're actually waiting for people to catch up in terms of building things with it. So yeah, we've crossed a massive threshold. I think it's only going to do more and more stuff over the next few years. One of the big things is like communications. I think that's why it's crossed into consumers now that you can talk to it, and it's got really good at communicating. So hence why ChatGPT's come in. We're seeing automated lead management. So agents are used to go home and sometimes get 50 inquiries come through portals overnight, and then come back in the morning, and the first thing they have to do is deal with inquiries. And now there's a lot of tools which will chat with these people overnight. You inquire on Rightmove, and then immediately you get in a WhatsApp conversation with an AI that's qualifying you, matching it with a property, and booking you in for a viewing. So agents are coming back in the morning with 50 inquiries all filtered down to 10 viewings booked in. So we're seeing some massive changes that are never gonna undo.
Just to step back a little bit, because we use the term artificial intelligence, and actually it's a very broad category. Do you want to distinguish between the types of artificial intelligence that there are? Because there's kind of like broad AI, strategic AI, I think I'm the big, what's it called? Artificial general intelligence, which is it's as good as a human being. We're kind of in the world of narrow AI. It's more machine learning and massive language models. Do you think the dream of artificial general intelligence, i.e. something that is intelligent as a human being, it's always been 30 years away? Is it now 10 years away, or is it still 30 years away?
I think it's quite hard to say, because when you listen to the big tech companies who are raising billions and billions of dollars even for funding their companies, it's in their interest to say AGI is like 5-10 years away. But you listen to other people who say, well, actually the current technology as it is right now can't reach AGI, and we actually need a few more breakthroughs. The breakthroughs in AI have been every 5 to 7 years, really. There were big breakthroughs in the 2010s, and this is just the latest breakthrough. So we do need more breakthroughs to get there. And they're unpredictable.
So brilliant. So from the rest of you, do you think we're at a tipping point now? AI is now ubiquitous. Everyone's going to use AI.
This is a first, Simon. It's something very special has happened in this industry, because for the first time, something that us experts predicted has actually happened, and has happened in the timescales that we predicted. Because we were here last year, weren't we, saying, you know, you've got to be on top of the wave rather than underneath it. If you ignore it, you're peril. And of course, all the agents rolled their eyes and said, well, like you said with blockchain and all the other things that we predicted that endlessly done. But this one, you know, this is the real deal, isn't it? And I'm absolutely fascinated by it in terms of not just the speed of change in terms of when you come back to it. You know, I thought I knew ChatGPT. I bounced away to other AI, which I thought was more kind of adaptive. Came back to it relatively recently, and, you know, their deep research feature and things like that. It's staggering. It's like, and I'm incredibly excited by it, and I'm excited as well to see that agents have taken it up and gone, you know, and have gone deep and hard with the adoption, because I think it can only be really good for them, because this is just an extension. It's doing it in a far greater way, but it's just doing that point that tech's been meant to do. It's a tool. It's going to help you, and crucially, it's going to help you scale. And when you think that so many processes, especially in lettings and property management, are about process and can be automated, that therein lies the salvation or the ability to retain more of your profits, and that's where I think it gets really good.
I think the true tipping point probably comes when an agent in this case allows or is confident enough for the technology to be unmanaged, unsupervised. Now, we were talking with Rob Smith from TPFG, Hunter's MD, and they're trialling an outbound and inbound piece of AI call, sort of call handling service. But I mean, some of the features in there are, he gave us a couple of examples where it can literally field 50,000 calls at once or make those calls. I mean, that's a lot of calls to make. But like Simon has said, it's getting quicker and quicker and more up to date, where he asked for some details on a property and said, oh, actually, sorry, my wife's German and she's in the room with me. And then split second later, it's chatting in German. Now, that's amazing, but do you trust that to the nth degree to just let it go overnight, like you're saying? I don't think we're quite there yet, but that's when it will start, not replacing people, because like Dave Garland said at Property Mark 1 a few years ago, it won't replace good people. It will just need the better or less better people to up their levels, up their game on prompt suggestions and actually learning what can be done with it. So I think the tipping point's coming, and like Simon said, it is well predicted, but you know, as we were saying at the other end of the table here, there's still some breakthroughs to come, and actually agents, just let them get used to ChatGPT first, and then maybe get them onto Sora and get them using Canva through ChatGPT and all these actual plugins. We're talking about integration. I think ChatGPT is doing a great job at integrating other AI features within the platform. So, yeah.
This Luddite
Just think through it.
I think agents are scared, actually. I think agents are scared of AI. I think they are scared that it's going to take their job away. And I can see that as an ex-agent of 20 years, that it is scary that this AI is coming, and that there's so much already here and it's already so fantastic. You know, what are they there for? But actually, it's there to support them. And I think it comes down to training that we talked about earlier, and educating agents that actually AI can just help you. It can do all the background stuff, you know, using ChatGPT, using Canva, you know, all these tools which they can use to bring their marketing up, bring their brands up, sort out their lead nurturing journeys, all these sorts of things that they can do with this technology is fantastic. And I think agents just need to trust it, that it's not going to take their jobs away, but it's going to enhance their capabilities.
Should make them better agents, shouldn't it? Yeah.
You mentioned Luddites.
So what you were saying was exactly the angle that I was going to come on. This Luddite kickback against it, this fear about it, and it does happen everywhere, and I do understand it. But until they've literally got those Elon Musk robots going out and doing the valuation, you know, that's the exciting bit, the human contact. This is about, let's be really honest, about relieving you from the task that most of your staff didn't want to do anyway, did they? They can do it better, quicker, more effectively. And I think, you know, the really exciting thing is that this is like unleashing the combined creativity of the AI working, or tech working with the human. Whereas you have to go away, you come up with an idea, you go back to your marketing department, you'd wait weeks for the ideas and the creatives to come back. You're talking about this in a matter of minutes now, and that's putting it on. Let's put it on steroids.
For a lot of businesses as well, that there's this the scarcity about AI, and I think the scarcity is there because they don't understand it, and they don't understand it, and they're being told at so many different levels that the capabilities are endless, and this will replace this, and this will replace that, etc., etc. Again, coming back to the embrace it kind of scenario, what every single business has just come under scrutiny for is their national insurance has gone up. The cost to run their business has now just increased. Minimum wage has just gone up. So actually, if you were thinking, well, this person does, or we were going to hire someone to do this job, we can't afford to have this person anymore, etc., etc. Technology is there that allows you to be able to say, well, you may need one person to do three people's previous workloads, whether those three people exist in your business or not at this moment in time. And I think that there's so much out there at the moment that you could do. Coming back to what Victoria said about training and so forth, ChatGPT is only as good as the information that's put in it. And you could sit there, if you don't know how to use ChatGPT, then it was literally like having a Ferrari in a locked garage that no one's ever going to see or drive, because it is incredible what it can do under the instructions that you give it. And I personally see that when you look at businesses that obviously we know the whole self-employed brokerage models, etc., is exploding right now. For me, those types of businesses are the ones, and the small businesses are the ones that I think, do you know what, you could really ramp up the amount of business that you do, because a lot of the tasks that might be really draining on your time, you know, businesses are invariably only scalable by their time. Use this.
Is AI actually a massive advantage if you're a small business?
Yes.
Absolutely. Used correctly.
Expand on that, please. Expand on that.
Used correctly.
Is it a leveler, is it?
Because again, AI and using any tool, AI is only as good as the person who's using it. A scenario recently I found myself in was I needed to create a presentation as someone got me to go and do some of their regional meetings, and it was a bit, I was thrown in one a bit last minute, and I suddenly had to turn around in kind of 48 hours a new slide deck. So I went on to various different platforms, bought the premium version of one, and it couldn't produce what I wanted because I didn't have the know-how as to how best to get the usage out of it. So I panicked, went on to Fiverr, paid a freelancer who probably used the same thing I just did to use it, and they came back and created something for me which looked really, really good, but it comes back to, I didn't know how to use it. There's so much tech out there, I just had no idea.
Are we becoming over-reliant on one generalist tool when in reality what we really need is a fit-for-purpose AI within property?
I'll tell you what it is. It's categories as well, isn't it? Marketing, content, those are all heavily outweighed, aren't they, in that list there in terms of what they can actually do. Where the exciting stuff is going to come, which is your point before as well, is around the automation. And I think the best agents are on board with that, aren't they? And that there's no clear winner now, because obviously that has followed behind the likes of those other tools, which that was what our understanding of AI was when we were discussing this last year, wasn't it? We're ahead of the curve there. The next 18 months will be about what those tools will do. And that's the exciting thing, is they will have a far bigger impact on your bottom line than anything else we've been talking about today.
Yeah, well, sort of going back on that, it's not a one-stop shop. That's not the key. But prop tech companies can be the experts in each section. And it's allowing that expert to know how to train AI to do that job that they are, that solution that they're providing. There's no point in trying to do a one-stop shop because it just doesn't really work.
I think ChatGPT is a very generalist tool, but a lot of these specialized AI companies that are building stuff just for prop tech, they're actually just calling ChatGPT on the back end, but they're just giving it a little bit more context and using it in a certain way.
Which is a clever way of doing it.
It's a clever way of doing it. I think it's just like these big companies have built these models and spent billions of pounds building these models, and it is going to take time for smaller companies to plug in ChatGPT technology effectively into specific applications in prop tech. But I think it's just, we just got to wait, give it a couple of years and the landscape will change.
So again, conscious of time, there's obviously a human cost to all of this. And I talked about the fact in my business, we didn't hire 3 people because we got Perplexity, we got ChatGPT, we got Gemini, we used them all. In reality, my business probably wouldn't have survived because I probably needed those 9 people, but AI gave me the 3 people.
And are they out there even if you wanted to? Famously, it's a...
Exactly. So, and famously Octopus, they bought Bulb, slightly different sector, they bought Bulb, saved Bulb, I should say, when it went pop. And instead of hiring new people to do customer service, they used AI. 250 people weren't hired, and the feedback from the surveys was people preferred AI than they preferred human reactors. Remember, my family works in the medical profession. They now have AI bots talking to patients. Those patients are on no time limit. Those AIs are on no time limit. They're incredibly patient. They're incredibly understanding. They give great advice. We're going to see a big displacement of jobs. Some people say 100, 200, 300, 400 million jobs globally. It's a massive, massive change. And people are feeling really overwhelmed by the hype.